In this video, I'm going to talk about how to add calculated fields and calculated items to your pivot table. So we can do some additional math in our pivot table that maybe isn't available in the underlying data. So first we have to understand what is a field and what is an item. Basically, a field is your column of information. So full name is a field, the office is a field, base salary is a field, commission's a field. All of those are fields, anything with a column heading. An item is a value in a field. So accounting is an item, administration is an item, customer support is an item, finance, Boston, any of the values in a field are considered items. So this will make more sense with the demonstration. Let's insert a pivot table. We'll grab our empty data, put it in a new worksheet, and let's go ahead and grab what we've done in the past as we've had the office and then the department. I'm going to throw down the wages and the bonus. So we have all of these fields. A calculated item. Maybe we, for instance, want to take our finance department and our accounting department and add those two values up as if that was one department. Just for fun, let's go ahead and throw the ID at the head of this. So this would basically be the count of employees in each department. All right, one of the issues when trying to do this is if your data is grouped. So for instance, I want to maybe combine my accounting and finance department as if it was one department. So I want to add up these things. If I go to a calculated item field, I get this error message about data being grouped. Okay, well, you're like, well, what is grouped? Remember we could group selection? Well, what happens if I throw down the hire date, see how we're organized by quarters right here, and then quarters would have a month in it. So that information is grouped. Even though I hadn't displayed it in previous iterations of pivot tables, I might have grouped my date field. So I'm going to ungroup that. Now I don't want that field, but that was probably what was grouped. The other thing that we grouped in previous videos was wages. So right now I throw that down here and I can see that that is not a grouped field. So I should be good to go. Nothing is grouped. So now let's try and go to field. We're going to do a calculated item. Again, item being a thing, a value in a field. So now it pops up. We don't get an error message. And we will just call this A or whatever, accounting and finance combined. I'm not coming up with a good name, but that'll be accounting and finance. There we go. So that is the name that is going to be added to our field. That's going to be another item in our field. And here's the formula. I want to take the accounting values and add them to the finance values. So we're going to hit add or OK. I now have accounting and finance. So I have 15 employees plus 17, that's 32, and that's what I see here. Once we have this combined department, I probably would want to filter right here. Let's filter this list. I will do, well, it's probably easier to go up here in the row labels. Let's turn off accounting and finance, and now we have the combined department. So that is a way to do a calculated item. Being an item, being a value in a field. If you ever need to go back and edit this formula, you can run here to calculated item, and notice it doesn't show up right here, which is kind of annoying, but if you hit the drop down arrow, there it is. So there's your formula, and now you can tweak it or delete it or whatever. So if we want to go back to where we were, we could just say, let's just delete this, close. And now that went away, but don't forget you're filtered. So now we'll give our accounting and finance department back. That's calculated item. Let's talk about a calculated field. So these are fields, right? Wage is a field, bonus is a field. And I want to know what is the percentage that this bonus is of the total wages. So I will click in any of them. It doesn't matter. We'll go to a calculated field. Now notice item isn't a choice, and that's because we're in a field area here, in the values area. So what is going to be the name of this field? We'll just call it bonus percentage. And what is the formula? So right here, I can double click and say, you know what, I'm going to take the bonus and I want to divide it by, so hit divide on the keyboard, by the wages. And I think we're good to go. We hit add, and okay, and it's going to do the sum. Now we got a couple issues. Why is everything 0? For some reason, it's formatted as an accounting type format, and so that's probably our issue right there. If we go to a number format and make this a percentage with a couple decimal places, we should get some numbers. So there, that's working for us. And what we maybe want is what is the average of the bonus. So I can go right click, summarize values as. It's not going to let me do that here, but I could do it down here. So we will go value field settings and make this an average of those bonuses. And again, if we want to edit this, I go to up here, calculated field. It doesn't show up until you hit this bonus percentage, and then you can hit OK or make a change to your formula right here. As another example, let's say I want to give everybody a perfect 3.5% bonus, and I want to see what that value would be by department. So I can do a calculated field. Let's call it a new bonus. And we will, for the value here, we'll take the wages. We will multiply by, and we'll just hard code this value, 3.5%. We can hit OK. And here's the new bonus. So it's a little bit more than the old bonus because we've increased that number a little bit. And so this would be the sum of our bonuses if we change it to a 3.5% rather than what it currently shows. Another issue you may run into calculated items or fields, or specifically fields, is I want to rename this field, and let's just say it becomes my new bonus. And so I'm just going to type the word bonus up here. And when I hit enter, it goes, wait a minute, that field already exists. So occasionally the calculated item, the name that you want to put, is already a name that's used in the data, and Excel won't let you do it. So one solution to that is just add a space to it, and then it'll view it as being different than what's already in the data. So basically that is it for calculated fields and calculated items. Remember to keep it straight. A field is the thing that has your column headings, and an item is a value in a field.